Okay, get on with this. I'm going to cover the news that a lot of people don't generally cover because they tend to be aim more for clickbait stuff. But I'm going to cover the general gaming news throughout the past week. So PS4 and Xbox One may not be powerful enough to run Baldur's Gate 3. Larian Studios, the ones obviously making Baldur's Gate 3, despite being a big AAA game, is not coming to current gen consoles for the time being. It's basically going to be too good, is what they're saying, which is good. Like, interesting enough, it'd be available PC and Google Stadia. It's going to be good enough to run on Stadia, but not PS4 and Xbox One. So that's interesting point they make there. But I actually like and relish the fact that it might be too good a game to be able to run on this gen consoles when it comes out next generation, which is in November. I like the idea. I hope it is too good a game and is too immense and there's too much involved in it for it to be like that. But we'll have to wait and see. They most probably will do a port of it or whatever. But Baldur's Gate, a fantastic game. Played them when I was young. Say young, I mean in my 20s. It's going to be most certainly a triple game. Lots of chat about the game. There's a trailer out as well, I believe. Yeah, open cinematic. I won't go into that either. I'll let you guys look into that. But this news alone is good news for me. I like the idea that when I get my new Xbox, there are going to be games, and possibly PS5, which I'm still unsure about, just based on Sony not telling me anything about it, and there don't seem to be any games for it. I don't want to buy a console for purely so I can play PS4 games. I didn't buy a PS4 this generation because it had nothing of interest for me. It had probably like one or two games that interested me. I'm not spending £400, blah blah blah, and plus the amount of the cost of the games just to play two games. Not doing that. Possibly buy PS5 then play them, but I'm not buying a PS5 to play PS4 games. I want to see what else it brings to the table, and I'm not interested in games like The Last of Us or Uncharted. No interest to me whatsoever. But moving on, yes, so Baldur's Gate, this would be great. I think that's something good to look out for. Unlike, what's the other one that's coming to PS5? The only game is announced, the Godfall, I believe it is. Whereas that's rumoured just to be for PS5, but that doesn't look like a next generation game, let's be honest, everyone. It looks just terrible. So I'm really glad that they've come out and said, yes, we're going to make a next generation game, and it's going to be fucking amazing. It's going to be incredible, everyone, so stay tuned. So that's brilliant news, everyone. So that's interesting. That's the interesting thing. Baldur's Gate getting exclusive features on Stadia. See, there's the start of things. See, Stadia's already getting exclusive details there. So that's very interesting there. But let's move on to the next bit of news. Okay, for the next bit of news, we've got journalists already coming out to look after Sony, because Sony are not doing it themselves. Sony have given us no news on the PlayStation 5, nothing really about their games, nothing about the console itself. So the media decided to sort of leap in the defence of Sony, I guess, and sort of just start saying the reasons why not to buy an Xbox already. Don't buy this Xbox, buy a PS5, it's better. Even though we know nothing about the PS5, just buy it. So what we're going to do is we're going to make up 4 reasons why you should buy a PS5 over an Xbox Series. That's basically what this is. And there's loads of media already coming out just to say why the PlayStation 5 is better than the Xbox Series, even though the Xbox have announced games and their console. It's just, you just can't make this stuff up. So these guys do it. But let's get on to their 4 reasons. Let's check this out. The PlayStation 5 must compete with the new Xbox Series X features. Brilliant journalism there. Yes, okay. It's sort of a given. However, the PS5 will have some gimmicks of its own. Okay, great. Wow. Sony's eventual reveal can't be missed. There's just some great headliners there. Just way to sell it. Brilliant. Yes, I'm definitely buying a PS5 now because it's going to have some gimmicks of its own. Brilliant. Yeah, I take my £500. Let's go into his 4 reasons. Actually, I'll tell you now. I think I've mentioned it several times. I wanted to buy a PS5. I got the green light from the wife, and to buy both consoles at launch, and I was going to do a reveal. However, Sony, as I said, have given me no information about their console or their games, and I'm certainly not buying a console, £500 console for Godfall. Certainly not doing that. There is no chance of that at all. And I'm not buying it to play old games. I was going to buy a PS4, but none of about 2 of the games out of its entire library interested me. I'm not interested in Last of Us, either of them. They're games that don't interest me at all. Certainly not Death Stranding. Detroit piqued my fancy, but it's gone to PC now. Uncharted, no interest whatsoever. Probably God of War, possibly, and Spider-Man, possibly, are the only games that really interest me, I think, on that console. So I'd get a PS5 to catch up on old games and also play what it's got coming out. But I'm not buying a PS5 just to play the old games. I'm not doing that. That's just ridiculous. I might as well buy a £100 PS4 next gen and just play those if PS5's not going to tell me anything about it. So as it stands right now, I'm going with the Xbox again. But let's go into his 4 reasons why to buy a PlayStation over an Xbox. PlayStation has a massive player base. I don't know. Is that a reason to buy a next gen console based on sales? Do people do that? Are people that weird? Do anyone buy anything based on sales? Do I buy Coca-Cola because it has more sales than Pepsi? I don't know. Pretty sure I don't. I think the world doesn't. I think gaming community is the only community that's that fickle and generally stupid and childish. But, I mean, he quotes Colin Moriarty. The interesting thing about this is he says it's best to go because it has a massive player base, and then he quotes it on sales. So because based on sales of the console, it's got to be better than the previous generation, is what he's saying. If that's his case, Wii U is there. So that sort of already debunks what he's saying, if you get what I mean. Because if the sales of a console means it's going to be better than next generation, that means the PlayStation, you should have got a PlayStation 3 because of the sales of the PlayStation 2, but the Wii won it. That's sold more. So, and PlayStation 3's only sold more consoles than the Xbox 360 because they took a massive dip because they sold the console at launch for £600, which is absolutely stupid. The console had loads of problems. It had no games. So people bought the console as the cheapest. I can go into this, but I won't in this video. The cheapest Blu-ray on the market, and that's why people are selling it. That's what the people are buying it for, is Blu-ray, and that's why it sold so many. Its game ratio to console was actually very low, and the 360 had a higher console to game ratio. More people were buying games on the console on 360 than on the PS3 because people were buying 360 to play games. People weren't buying PlayStation 3 to play games. It wasn't until very end of the generation, literally at the end of the generation, that they start releasing half decent games, but it was too late. So that's their one. Their sales is the reason why you should buy a PS5 over Xbox. Okay, wow. PlayStation 5 will have exclusives. Okay, so their argument is you should buy a PlayStation 5 because it has exclusives. Okay, over an Xbox, right? So if you take this now, you should buy a PlayStation 5 over an Xbox because it has exclusives. But the Xbox will have games that the PS5 won't have. So they're also exclusives if you don't own an Xbox. So this is an easy claim to make, but it's also true. Microsoft's exclusives are becoming readily available on PC. Sony stations, have you been reading anything? I mean, you got MLB and games like the Qs and that coming to Xbox. There is no Xbox games going to PS at the moment, and you've got PS4 games going to PC via PS Now. So, but aside from subscribing to lackluster PS Now streaming feature, it's not streaming anymore. You have to keep up journalists with your news. You can download the games as well now. They are basically copy pasting game passes, sort of what they do now. So you can download the a lot of the games now. So you need to keep up with the times, my friend. But PlayStation 5 exclusives, okay. What are these exclusives though? That's what I mean. They're telling you to buy PlayStation 5 over Xbox because it's got exclusives. What are the exclusives? Crickets. There isn't any. You can't sell a next generation console by by advertising last generation game. They literally advertise last generation games. Buy a PS5. You can play PS4 games on it. Yes, brilliant. Exclusives. Well done. PlayStation 5 will have gimmicks too. Exactly, but that is one of the reasons. Buy a PlayStation 5 because it have gimmicks like the Xbox. So if they've both got gimmicks, then why would you pick one over the other? But what I like about this is the gimmicks he chooses. Where's his gimmicks? It's not actually going into what the gimmicks are. It just says it would have gimmicks. But it's essential to read between the lines here. It's going to have gimmicks. You're just saying, buy PlayStation 5, it's going to have gimmicks. But you're not telling us what the gimmicks are because you don't know, because PlayStation 5, Sony have not said anything. You're just saying, read between the lines. Okay. Game Pass. It offers stuff like Game Pass. Like Game Pass, but not as good as Game Pass. So that's it. That's the gimmick. Buy PlayStation 5 because it offers something like Game Pass. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, here we go. It's got patent claims, technology, the gameplay. What's its technology then? One patent details heart rate and sweat secretion monitoring on the DualShock 5. Oh my god. Okay, so buy PlayStation 5 because there's a possibility its controller could have heart rate and sweat secretion monitoring on the controller. Right. For one, that probably won't come as standard. If it does do that, it won't come as standard. It'll probably be like the Elite Controller 2 thing, where you'll probably have to buy it as a separate controller for quite a bit of money, I'd imagine. Also, who's going to use this? Horror games could use this. Yes. How many horror games are on PS4 all generation? You know, what horror games are coming to PS5? You're just giving sort of. Oh, Sony is probably pushing VR. Buy PlayStation 5 because it's probably going to push VR. Oh, this is what I mean by bad journalism. It's like buy an Xbox Series X because it probably will do this. It will probably give you superpowers. Probably buy one. It's just crap journalism. Anyway, this guy's 4 reasons are just absolute nonsense because he's got no actual details himself. He doesn't know anything. He's just telling you to buy a PS5 anyway based on a patent and just absolute nonsense. Fanboy nonsense. Right, so let's move on to the next topic. It's just a funny, interesting bit of news. I just love it when journalists come out with absolute crap. So, moving on, and to support what I said earlier, Forbes, who douse their website in adverts, and that's why they clickbait everything to make as much money as possible, because you can't go through their website without just advertisements everywhere. It's like in your face, everything. They just want to make as much money as possible. Yeah, Forbes. You know, these are the reliable ones that continuously run to Sony's aid, and only 2 days before Xbox showed its, despite the rumours saying Xbox Series X will be more powerful, they come out and said the PS5 is more powerful, and they put PS5 at 12 teraflops and Xbox X Series at 11 teraflops, and Xbox completely debunked that. So yes, Forbes look like idiots. So they've fired back with the console war is over because Sony left Microsoft behind from the start. This is the kind of journalism nonsense that lazy journalism nonsense that I like to see from the so-called journalists that support console wars because it gets them clicks for their websites, which are covered in advertisements. Right. There's much speculation and debate about upcoming generation of video game consoles. Sony's PlayStation 5 versus Microsoft Xbox Series X. We still know very little about these systems, and even less about the PS5. Yet you're saying it's already won the console generation based on sales. I don't know. It's weird that people base it on sales. You've won something based on sales. I just want to end this now. Neither company are looking to sell more consoles. Both companies are looking to make a profit. That is the key ingredient to a business. Profit, not sales. It's irrelevant. Some idiots are going to say sales equals profit. No, they don't. Only if you're making a massive profit from those sales, but you make more profit from software over sales because consoles are sold at a loss. So, and you can argue that but the more consoles you got out there, the more software you can sell. No, the more platforms your software's on, the more software you can sell. If you've got, I'm not going to go into this right now, but because I've done it in recent videos, and why people can't grasp the common sense of it is just beyond me. But let's go into what this guy says. Jesus Christ. Recent revelations from Microsoft suggest the Xbox Series X will likely be more powerful than the PS5. Suggests the Xbox Sony, and Sony's game of chicken with Microsoft on pricing means that the PS5 will likely be cheaper. Why? You saying it will likely be cheaper? What game of chicken? Sony have come out and said nothing. All they've said is they're waiting for the Xbox 5 reveal, and then they're going to give their price. So obviously holding back for the Xbox reveal, which I don't think Xbox is going to do anytime soon. They're going to just hold Sony over a barrel basically until the launch. So those details were set aside. Of course you will, because it doesn't support your narrative. Of course you can set those details aside. But this is the debate about these two systems has a third component: whether consoles are even relevant anymore. Recently, my colleague Kevin Munine argued that they're not. That the console war is over and Microsoft has moved on, leaving Sony in the dust. I don't think it was that extreme. What Phil was on about is he doesn't see Sony as competition. He sees Google and Amazon. That is purely because it's a price war, it's a money war, really. As you can see, Microsoft's now just throwing massive money into this to compete with the two big guns, both equally as rich, basically, as Microsoft. Sony are not even on that level of money. All they've got is PlayStation that's carrying their entire business, whereas Microsoft Xbox is only their secondary objective. So and now they've started to input more money into it. You can see the massive, like they're releasing far more first party games than Sony are, far more, like triple the amount of first party games that Sony are releasing. Xbox are. They're investing far more into gaming than Sony, who rely far more on third party deals. But the debate of these two systems has a third component: whether the consoles are more relevant anymore. Right? Why? Because the cloud is the future, and Microsoft with it, and they've also said they will not be leaving the console market. Why would they do that? Why would you ditch one? You just go with both of them. They're going with both of them. Christ, this guy is bad. Why? Because the cloud is the future, and Microsoft, with its robust cloud infrastructure, has beat Sony to the punch. After all, even Xbox chief Phil Spencer has claimed that Microsoft's true rivals in video games are Google and Amazon. Yep, exactly. I've already written about why I think this obsession with the cloud is mildly absurd. It's because you're an idiot. It's typical techno-optimism. Oh, God, really? With little grounding, you're the one that's just going on about, oh, God. With little grounding in the current reality on the ground. Microsoft, Amazon, and Google that are all pursuing this are not grounded in reality, yeah? Even though they're the biggest, richest companies in the world, they don't know what they're doing, yeah? Whereas you know better, yeah? Yeah? Is that what you're going with? And Sony know better, yeah? Is that what you're going with? That's why Sony are not even in the, I don't think, anymore in the top 100 FT profit-wise, whereas Microsoft are top with Google and Amazon. But, you know, they don't know. Those companies do not know what they're doing, apparently. They're not grounded in reality. And game streaming still have a long ways to go, and that consumers will very likely want gaming hardware at their disposal, which Xbox is still pursuing. Even if that will eventually change, it won't change right now. Yeah, even though it will eventually change, you mean when Sony catches up and they change it, then it will be fashionable, then it'll be good. Sony are doing it, now it's great, yeah, everyone's on board. It won't change right now, and I'm judging by a Stadia kerfuffle, it won't change anytime soon either. You completely miss the xCloud and everyone else is streaming, and also Sony have been streaming for ages. You've never said PS Now is crap, don't buy it, it's streaming, it's poor. You never advised Sony to not do it, have you? No. You've actually wrote something a while back saying that it's great. Now Microsoft are on board and doing it right, it's bad. Jesus. Setting all that aside, I think it's important to take stock in what the console war between Sony and... There's no console war, it's just a childish fanboy thing. In what between Sony and Microsoft has actually looked like over the years. Okay, let's do this. All right, let's do this. I'm going to debunk this idiot. If Microsoft does have paved the way towards a console-free world, that's not their plan at all. Why would they be releasing two consoles next generation? Why would they be? They're creating the most powerful console on the market, which we're following the Xbox X, the second one. Why are you saying they're leaving the console world? Just ignorance, pure ignorance. Microsoft have never really been at war with Sony when it comes to video games. At best, they've been playing catch up, with one exception. Alright, okay, right. Take that. Microsoft has never really been at war with Sony when it comes to video games. Just take that snippet and remember that, yeah? Here are the top 10 best-selling consoles of all time. Right, so he's going for consoles again, just like the last one. Going for console sales. PlayStation, blah, blah, blah. There's the console sales, everybody. He's also including handhelds in this now. Brilliant. You might as well include mobile phones now. Put mobile phones in there because you can play games on them now. So mobile phones now is number one. Mobile phones now is number 1 to 10 because it way trumps any of these. But we won't include mobile phones even though you can game on those. So yeah, phoning, yeah, right. There we go. Right, everybody. Look, console sales, brilliant. Won't take into any of the facts of these situations really. Way down in 15th place, you have Xbox One, yes, which was its first console into the market, and it had to compete with PlayStation 2, which released before the Xbox One, a year before it, and it already was at like 50 million consoles sold. It already had the market share already. So, oh, sorry, not Xbox One. I thought you meant the OG Xbox. He said that. I've probably read it wrong down here. Oh, yeah, here. The original Xbox lands in 19th place, 24 minutes. Yes, because it was competing against the PS2, which already had the market share with PlayStation 1 and PS2, both which released first. So and then he goes on to Xbox One. Skips Xbox 360 in his evaluation there. He's just gone, yeah, Xbox One didn't do well, original Xbox didn't do well. Skips 360 altogether because it doesn't suit his narrative, apparently. Yes, PS3 outsold every single Xbox system. Right, so he goes on to console sales. That's his argument again, console sales. That's why Sony have already won. Because console sales. Not software sales, console sales. There were less successful consoles out there than the Xbox One, of course. The GameCube, Wii U, Sega game did worse, and the numbers go down from there. But the fact remains that the top 10 best-selling video game consoles in history, Microsoft accounts for just one, 360, and that one near the bottom. It's not near the bottom; it's 8th. Why is that near the bottom? You've just gone on about the ones like much lower. Look, they're going down. Like, right. Also, it doesn't point out that Nintendo and PlayStation are worldwide sold devices, whereas Xbox isn't. It's sold in a lot less countries than those, including its games. Asia, you can't even buy Xboxes in the open market. You have to order them online because Asia pretty much doesn't like Western products. That's a cultural thing. It goes across the board for pretty much everything. Very, very few Western products, especially American stuff, makes it into Asia. Because they actually have a dislike for a lot of American stuff, basically. I mean, things like McDonald's and stuff, they struggle to make it there. So, that's why. And you'd be surprised, there's quite a few people in Asia. It makes up quite a big market. In that sense, Spencer was correct. Microsoft really isn't competing with Sony or Nintendo. The Xbox even in the same league. Pursuing a cloud-based future makes even worse sense when you think about it in that way. But the clash of times, right. This guy's boring me already because he clearly has no clue what he's on about. Right, so let's just take his things. Microsoft has never really been at war with Sony when it comes to video games. At best, they've been playing catch-up and console sales. So it's based on console sales. Right, so let's check this out, right? Let's first go to this. Open it for me. You gonna open? I'm gonna open that. So, that finally opened. Right, so let's look at his little, remember, everyone recall his list, his top 10 list, and it just had PlayStation, Wii. Let's actually look at the hardware-software time ratio. Number one is Xbox 360. That means, despite how many consoles a 360 sold, it actually sold more games. It sold, like, a time ratio means the amount of people on that console are actually buying games for it. So more people are buying games for 360 than any other console. So, say, I don't know, 10 people bought a console, 8 people bought games for it. as compared to another system where 10 people bought a console, 3 people bought games for it. That's what the time ratio is. So top of that is 360. 360 is actually leading platform on time ratio. That means pretty much everyone bought a 360 and pretty much everyone bought the games for it. Whereas PlayStation 3, as I said, wasn't so popular. Number 3 is Xbox, the original Xbox. Look at that. Let's have a look down this list. PlayStation, first PlayStation down here. We've got Xbox One's above PlayStation 4. That means more people, time ratio, more people are buying Xbox One games than PlayStation 4 people are buying PS4 games. PlayStation Vita. Let's have a look. There we go. There we go. Look, that's the time ratio, right? So first we've got that interesting sort of fact there. Whereas, you know, you can sell with 100 million of something, but if hardly anyone's playing the games for it, you're not making your profit back. That is my point. Console sales do mean nothing. It's platforms. So there's the time ratio, and Xbox leads, and Xbox is third as well. There we go. Let's look on to the next bit of information. Game totals. Top selling games. Let's have a look at this. Right, number 1 is Pokemon. That's the Nintendo game. Number 2 is Super Mario. That's the Nintendo game. Call of Duty. That's multiplat. That's multiplat. That's multiplat. I believe that's multiplat now. That's multiplat. On phone. Multiplat. Multiplat. Nintendo. Multiplat. Multiplat. Nintendo. Multiplat. Nintendo. Multiplat. Multiplat. You can see a thing here. Where's the PlayStation? Where's PlayStation? It's sold X amount of consoles, and you keep talking exclusives and it's games, but it's in top selling franchises. It's not in there. Let's go down the list. Gran Turismo. There we go. Number 21. It's got so as games sell, you know, despite its console sales, its gaming franchises, its top one's ranked 21. Let's go down the list. Let's see what. Oh, Halo's in there. So Xbox has got one. Just keep going down the list. What else we got? What else we got? Right, so Uncharted. Did I miss anything? No. So there we go. See, so what does this tell you? This tells us that multiplats, right? Let's make the point here. Multiplats and Nintendo games selling more games than PlayStation and Xbox, because exclusives ain't a great thing. Consoles are not a be-all end-all. You sell more games if it's on more platforms. Let's support this theory. Right, let's look at the best-selling games of 2019. So Call of Duty, multiplat. Nintendo, multiplat. There we go. So top selling games were all multiplats. That means they wasn't on just one console. They was on several consoles. Let's look at the ones of the decade. Best selling games of the decade. Multiplat. All multiplats. There we go. What does that tell us? So rather than confine yourself to a console, it's best to sell your software on more platforms. There we go. So what's console sales to do with anything? Why is that guy trying to dismiss, like trying to say you need to console sales are be all and end all, and they've left Microsoft in the dust? Well, they said they've not had anything relevant compared to Sony. You just see the top franchises. All Sony's top franchises is GT, Gran Turismo. You see where that's gone recently. It's gone down the pan, whereas Forza's overtaken it. Halo's above it, and Halo's still going fairly strong. And they've got another one, Halo Infinite, coming out next generation, I think, which is going to be a massive blockbuster. I can't see the logic by trying to tell people that it's all about console sales. these companies won't be looking at. Put your software on more platforms. That's how software works. That's why Microsoft is the leading company in software. It's not because they own how many consoles, how many, how much hardware has Microsoft sold to make its profit be the highest software company in the world, most profitable software company in the world. Just look at it like that. Selling software on more platforms makes you more money, gives you more profit. That is it. They want to make more profit, which then feeds back to developers. They can buy more studios, make more games, make better games, blah 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 blah. It's a circle like that. It's very simple to follow. It's a very simple business strategy. To restrict yourself, as Sony know, that's why they're starting to move on and putting, is poor business. Only morons would restrict themselves like that. If you want your company to die, well done. Nintendo got away with it because they're Nintendo and they have a fan base such as that. As you can see, PlayStation games, even though it sells so many consoles, the fan base buy nowhere near as many exclusives for their consoles as Nintendo do. Literally, because people either buy an Xbox or a PS4. Not many people buy both. Whereas everyone pretty much buys a Switch. So you buy a PS4 and Xbox fans both buy the Switch. So that's the logic behind that. I don't know what that was about. So to finish this rant, yes, that guy is talking absolute nonsense. They've left Xbox behind because they're moving to cloud. They've left Xbox behind because Xbox are putting their games on more platforms. What logic, common sense are you going with, man? They want more people to buy their software, which leads to more money, which leads to more profit. If you're going to cling yourself to console sales, yes, PlayStation's always going to sell more consoles because its consoles are sold in more. But, when PlayStation 5 sells 200 million consoles, let's say, but makes X amount of profit, and Xbox Series X sells much far less consoles, but makes far exceedingly more profit, are you still going to say, yeah, the PS5 won the console war? Are you really going to do that? Is that what you're going to do? It's just a false clickbait perception. But let's not keep on to this too long because it just irritates me. People can be so fickle and stupid and shallow. Let's move on to the subject. So, right. One of EA's unannounced Star Wars games has leaked. Project Rabbit was revealed courtesy of Twitterbot. So, not sure how credible this is. In February, a Kotaku report said that, even less credible, a report said that the planned Star Wars Battlefront spin-off game in development at Respawn Entertainment had been cancelled. Yeah, I recalled that, and there was a lot of people going, oh, we're upset. Smaller, more unusual game. Yeah, really, right. That second project has now apparently leaked courtesy of PSN releases, a Twitter bot account that reports on new PS4 releases. So, apparently, PSN releases dropped this on Twitter. So they have got a secret game that's coming out, Star Wars game. One other important note is that Kotaku has confirmed that this is the game in development as EA motive. I've reached out to Electronic Arts for more information and will update if I receive a reply. So that's just a quick bit of news there that EA are working on another Star Wars game. And if anything's go by, it's coming out this generation, which I find it hard to believe. I can only imagine it'd be cross-platform. But there we go. Another Star Wars game coming out. EA have kind of unofficially confirmed it. But that's something to look forward to for Star Wars fans, because this last Star Wars game was apparently excellent. Ghost of Tsushima has finally got a release date. Sony sort of don't seem to be doing anything with PS5, but PS4 they're still kind of plugging their games. So we've got Ghost of Tsushima is coming to PS4 on June the 26th for all those that are excited about it. So there's the release time, if you didn't know already, for Ghost of Tsushima, basically. It's a hack and slash in the style of Sekiro or whatever it's called. The Shadows Die Twice. So you could call this Ghost of Tsushima Shadows Die Thrice, I guess, because it's kind of that kind of style of game. You got Neo 2 coming out as well this week or next week, I believe. Completely unsure. Not my style of games at all. Not into that genre at all, because they're all pretty samey. But if you like the stories, then go for it. That's your deal. That's your thing. But yeah, that's the news. That game's coming out on the 26th of June. So moving on to the final bit of news, PS5 and PlayStation 5 Pro to go head-to-head against two new Xbox consoles. So the incoming battle between the Sony PS5 and PS Series X consoles has recently been thought to be a straight-to combatant fight. So what this is basically, the two of comes from NeoGAF member, who's listed as an industrial professional vetted on the site. There are two compost company Microsoft and Sony mid-gen refresh introduced release of consoles run the entire 7-year cycle. Sony is releasing two PS models. The base PS5 is 9 teraflops. The other one is also of the line top of the line to compete with Xbox Top Dog. It all makes sense now why people are getting mixed numbers. Not really. People get mixed numbers because Sony are not revealing anything, and I think it's just rumours, basically. A lot of it's rumours. This is kind of rumours as well, because Sony have not said they're coming out with another console. The question is if the PS5 is their lesser and the PS5 Pro is the other, what will that be? And how much is that going to cost? Is that why they're waiting for Xbox to come out, if this is the case, to reveal the price of their top dog before they reveal their top dog? All seems a bit far-fetched because this rumour was going around a while ago. Whilst Xbox did sort of hint that they are releasing two consoles and did hint at one being called Lockhart, Sony have not really done any such thing. So only people have speculated there's going to be a PS4 Pro. Where this guy Sosa said they're both mid-gen refreshes at the recent same time. I don't believe they're also mid-gen refreshes. I think we still will get a mid-gen refresh. So I think this is just one console is going to be power, one power console is going to be price, just to draw in the casuals. And I think, but either case, if Sony have gone down this route, it is completely to try and snuff Xbox, because they realise Xbox had one up on Sony if they was to release two consoles, because they would reach the power market and the price market, with Sony being in the middle of those two. So Sony thought, we can't allow them to beat us on price and power. Albeit it will be two consoles, but still Xbox would beat price and power. They'd be selling both consoles at the same time. So Sony, if anything, have sat together a console to compete with that. That's what's concerning. That could be why we've not heard anything as of yet. But we've heard it from this insider on NeoGAF. So take this with a pinch of salt, everybody. But still, apparently Sony are releasing two consoles. Is one of them the one that looks like the toilet? You know the one I'm talking about? Which I hope not, because that is too small and there is just nothing to it to fit any much such power and such involved. But we will all be revealed soon, hopefully. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you all for watching. Please sub, share and like. Share it on Twitter, share it out to all your friends. Sub and slap that alarm button in the corner so you get my info coming up. I'll have my Conan series is continuing on Sunday, and I've dropped off a Red Dead 2, but I'm going to get back into it. And I should have another video of that out, if you was watching that, out next week, as well as some other gameplay stuff. I've been playing Hunt Showdown as well, and I'll be playing Sea of Thieves. So please stay tuned. Check me out on Mixer and all. I've been playing stuff on Mixer. Thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.